Hi guys, I couldn't believe this book was over 700 pages. Let's get started and talk about it. Okay, I can't say that I completely read this book because you guys know I like to be honest with you. It's called The 5 Types of Wealth. It really interested me and I liked a big chunk of it. It's just when a book is over 700 pages, especially a self-help book, I get drained. It's just too much for me. Maybe you guys aren't like this. I've discussed this many times on the channel. But it did have a lot of interesting things. It's called The 5 Types of Wealth. A lot of times when people talk about wealth, at least I know I do, I think of successful people as having a lot of money. Okay? Because, hey, it would be nice. Think about this. And I don't know if you guys agree with me, and this is a whole big topic. I almost could do this over on the Sensible Living with Money Mom channel. But think about something for a minute. If you were to go and be able to have money for all the things that you need, I'm not even talking wants, if you're a homeowner, things like that, and all of your health. If you had money for all of that stuff, so if you need a new car, you could go pay cash. If you need a new roof, you don't even have to worry about fighting with insurance. You can go buy yourself a new roof. If you need to go buy another house because you're outgrown it, you can go pay cash for it. You get the idea here. You're able to buy it. If you have some medical procedures that aren't covered by insurance, not a problem, okay? You can pay for all of those things. Air conditioner breaks, you can buy a new air conditioner. Okay, so I've given enough examples. I mean, that to me, money takes care of a lot of problems. I think we can all agree with that. I mean, to me, who wants to be, so tight on their budget, right? But this particular author, and I don't even know who, I'll put it in the description, but I should tell you who this author is. I'll look it up on my phone at the end and let you know. But basically, he talks about 5 types of wealth. The first is, I'll just tell you what they are. Time wealth, and that's the most precious commodity, one of the most. He says basically about, hey, you are in charge of your time. Do you have time to do the things you want and that matter to you? Because you can have all the money in the world, but if everybody's owning your time, and you basically are just running around. You've heard about people before that work so much that they don't have time to even spend with family, and then their kids grow up, they don't even know them because they're always busy working and things like that. I'm sure you've heard about that before. So basically, how are you managing your time? When you say yes to one thing, you say no to something else. So that's a big part of the book. Number 2, social wealth, okay? And I started reevaluating my areas with all of this, to be honest with you. What are your relationships like, family and friends? Do you have relationships that you build each other up and encourage each other? What's your social life like? Everybody wants something different from it, but what's your social circumstances like? Number 3, mental health. Do you have a sense of purpose? Are you taking good care? Do you have a growth mindset? What is that like, okay? They could have put number 6 in here, spiritual health, because I believe that's important too, but that wasn't one of these, okay? Because think about it, I think everything comes from God, so he's our supplier. I think that should go in this list also. Okay, number 4, physical health. You've heard people say this, health is wealth. I mean, are you getting enough sleep? Are you, eating properly for your type of body? Are you exercising and being mobile? What's your physical health like? Are you taking good care of yourself, okay? And last is financial health. Are you making enough to thrive? Are you happy? Are you moving up in your career? Do you want to own a business? All of this. So it's all about health is wealth. Time is one of your most precious commodity. And do you have a growth mindset? And are you continually learning and growing? Now you're probably saying, well, you know a lot about this book without reading the entire thing. That's because I skimmed it. I'm just being honest. I didn't read in detail all 700 and some pages. I'm going to look this book up so I can tell you the name of the author. But there is some really good information in it. It just, to me, like I told you guys, a lot of the books I read, I don't mind them being a little over 600 pages, but I really don't like them to be more than that. Okay, it was called, let me look at the timeline. Hold on one moment. It is called The 5 Types of Wealth, and the author is Sahil Bloom. So I'll write that down, The Transformation Guide to Design Your Dream Life. So, but this is the thing. Say if you're not where you need to be wealth-wise, money-wise, you could work on some of these other areas, because what I liked about the book is that it didn't just count on money. Like, I had a friend of mine, this is a while ago, she basically thinks that if you're not wealthy, you're not successful. I disagree with that. I met someone, I know this is going to go over 5 minutes, but I met someone, and I may have shared this on the other channel, that is really a happy person. He retired early. He doesn't have much of a pension plan. He doesn't make that much money. But he lives like in a little efficiency apartment. I think he uses his bike to ride around. He doesn't have any expenses really. But he volunteers and he does things. And he said he is just happy because he doesn't have all these responsibilities. He doesn't own a home or a car. He's just very content and happy doing all the things he has. And he said he feels wealthy. So I think everybody, this is my opinion, you can let me know, should decide for themselves what they feel like is success for them. Each of us are different and life changes, everything's a season. So I think the book is interesting, but it is something that would takes a long time to read it. So, but I think that the premise in it is really good, because it's not just about money, it's about time, your social life, your mental health, your physical health, and your financial. And I'm adding spiritual in there. So anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts. Have you read any of these books? And what is one of your favorite books about financial freedom and money? I'd love to hear in the comments. That's all I have to say. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, everybody.